Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, good evening. So before we start tonight's agenda, I'd like to announce that the mailing from the planner's office, the town planner's office, went to the wrong HOA. It went to the HOA that you've had previous years, and evidently the retreat changed HOAs in the last year or two. I'm not familiar with that, and never updated the files here. So the mailing went out September 25th, but it went to your old HOA. That being said, I spoke to council for the planning board. We want to reopen the public hearing for November 13th. That's, I believe, our next meeting. So anyone that wants to speak will be able to speak at the November 13th meeting.
So, Mr. Chairman, so the public hearing will have to be renoticed, republished. A new notice will go out to the managing agent for the HOA, and hopefully they will then pass that along to the members.
So what Mr. Charbonneau just said is that the public hearing will be renoticed. It'll be in the newspapers. Another email will go to your newer HOA, and we'll have the meeting on November 13th. Joe, did I miss anything there?
No, that's right. And everybody within 500 feet. Everybody within 500 feet, but not beyond that. So if you're beyond that, just look out for it also.
Yeah, we'll be in the newspaper also. So get your thoughts together, and you have 2 weeks, a little bit longer than 2 weeks to prepare for the next meeting. All right, I just thought we'd do that first so I don't tie you up. Thank you.
If you would, please exit quickly and quietly, because we have a long agenda. Thank you.
I'm sorry?
It's probably just going to go to the HOA, but you know the date, next month. You can come here, it'll be on the agenda.
It goes to the HOA. Any HOA in town, they're the single point of contact for the town, and they have all your email addresses and
Well, are you not part of the Colby Home?
it's going to be November 13th.
Are you in 500 feet? If you're not in 500 feet, you may not.
Would you please exit so we can continue our
You
meeting?
can look on the town website for the notice. Okay.
Excuse me, would you please exit so we can continue our meeting?
Please exit the courtroom quickly and quietly. Thank you.
These are the people from Retreat, People USA in the front row.
Yes.
I guess they're getting the message that that's what they're doing. Feel free to take my chain off whenever you want, so I'll take it. This is crazy. Come for a fight? Come back next month. I'm sure it's going to be a biggie. You know, take care.
excuse me, will you please exit the room? There's a meeting that has to be conducted. All you in the back, will you please exit out the right-hand door?
Hey, good, how you doing? Okay, I got a big day tomorrow. I got a lot of CAT scans, neck, my lung, and my chest. Yeah, shortness of breath, and so we'll see. It's always stressful. Any new news with your son?
The same chiacchierone is living there.
Yeah. Well, it should be an interesting meeting.
Oh, it's gonna be a long one.
If you're a headache, because she's still talking. Okay, first on the agenda is TC Graphics, 893 Route 6. Is anyone here from TC Graphics?
He wasn't here last meeting either. He was not. That's the second one. TC Graphics?
Okay. Second on the agenda is Michael Festo, 52 Crafts Road. Jack, isn't that you?
We discussed this afternoon that we're not sampling until tomorrow, so we're gonna put this off until the next meeting.
Yes,
and then-
Jack and I spoke this afternoon, since the testing of the soil is going to be done tomorrow. I'd prefer you come back when the sampling is done. Okay, Jack, since you're up there, you can also do Pellegrini, Greg, 381 East Lake.
So I just want to clarify on number 2, so we left open a public meeting last time, so it's still open then? Correct. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yes, I got sampling kits, and we're gonna collect them tomorrow, and Rich is gonna be there. Rich is gonna be there too.
All right, so Jack, you'll be able to have a quick turnaround within 2 weeks to interpret them and give us a report? Is that what you're estimating?
Yeah, I hope so.
So, look,
right, so
on all this soil testing in the future, if you don't have the results, I don't think you should come in front of the board. So let's make sure of that. I think everyone on the board agrees with that. You get the results, you come forward. So if you get in 2 weeks, great. If you don't,
Then we push it off.
thank you. All right, let's do 381 East Lake Boulevard regrading application. Mike, did you have any comments on this?
Pellegrino?
Yes.
No, this is a minor regrading, correct? That's the one? I have no comments.
Rich?
So the application involves a leveling of a yard at the reference location. Work already has been performed on the site. It's about under 5,000 square foot of disturbance, so that doesn't trigger the New York State stormwater regulations. It was issued, or it was, I don't even remember if I issued a notice of violation or not, but it was spoken to while the work was being done. I visited the site. They put up silt fencing immediately at that point in time. For the information provided, provide a legend on the drawing, provide a survey separate from the site plan. It wasn't identified if any fill was brought to the site or not, if it was just releveling, so at least some kind of documentation there. And assessment of runoff not to cause erosion as per section 15643, and the location of any wells and depth thereof of natural water courses. So there is a water course that runs adjacent to this property, so it is shown on the drawing, but it's more the wells. I don't believe there are any in the area, but Jack just needs to show that as part of his plan.
Thank you. And Pat?
No planning issues associated with this, Mr. Chairman.
So Jack, I didn't see a sign outside this property.
There was no sign. We didn't have a sign. It's not on for a public hearing, it's just, this is the first crack at this thing. And if I can
Does
explain.
the sign only go up for a public hearing?
No.
It should be up for when the application goes in, correct?
What?
The sign should go up for every applicant that comes in front of the board. Site plan, subdivision, everything, there should be a sign. There was no sign put there ever?
I'll talk to Rose and get a sign.
But they didn't do it when they gave you the application?
No.
Interesting.
I'll speak to Rose also, but,
Okay, and I just want to say that the 3 trees were removed and some brush. And he fixed a footing drain. And in order to fix the footing drain, he had a small track excavator. And that's what tore up the front yard. And there's water off the road. I met with, that comes into down his driveway and makes a mess on his property. And I met with the county, and they're going to put catch basins on the road. And he wants to move some bushes back because the sight distance is terrible coming in a driveway. So my plan shows the bushes moving back or getting removed, and he's going to put some abrevieties along the front there, and that's it. If I'll talk to Rose too and get a sign, and I'll address Rich's comments, but it's a minor thing.
it is. Any comments from the board? Otherwise, we need a motion to schedule a public hearing.
I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
What was the motion?
Public hearing.
Public hearing is
Okay,
next.
thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Knights of Columbus, 10 Fair Street.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, Mr. Cleary will vote me as a abstain.
Good evening. Mike, I don't believe you had any comments.
No, well, it might have been addressed.
And Rich?
No, I have no memo here for this evening. It's on for a resolution.
Pat, I believe you
You have a
prepared a
resolution,
resolution?
Mr. Chairman.
Any comments from the board?
No.
We need a motion to adopt the site plan.
I'll make a motion to adopt the site plan for the Knights of Columbus, 10 Fair Street, Carmel, New York.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And any abstain? There we go. Just wanted it for the record.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening.
We have to offer the resolution?
Pat,
Yes.
we offered the resolution.
We did, but we didn't cite tax map number and all of that.
I didn't hear you.
Saying as far as the resolution, we voted on it, but are we okay with the way it was offered?
Do you need a tax map?
Oh, when you made the motion?
Yeah.
No, it's fine. The resolution has the tax map, so it's, the
Okay.
document will prevail.
Next on the agenda is 355 Huguenot, 85 Glenita Avenue, also for a resolution. Mike, any comments?
All the variances were granted. I have no comments.
Rich
Applicant addressed all my comments. It's on for resolution.
and Pat.
And you have a resolution?
Comments from the board? This has been around for a while. I know we've discussed this quite a bit. Any other comments?
Nope, not from me.
We'll need a motion to adopt the site plan resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'll offer a resolution of the Planning Board of the Town of Carmel, number 25-26, October 22, 2025, tax map number 44.14-1-6, 355 Huguenot, Inc., 85 Granada Avenue, final site plan approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is People USA. We're going to hold that over for the next meeting, which is in 2 weeks. Well, actually, November 13th. Next on the agenda is Verdi Batista Drive, residential site plan. Mike?
Yeah, all the necessary variances were granted by the ZBA, and the parking spaces are now shown to be permanently improved. All my comments have been addressed.
Rich?
The engineering department does not have any comments regarding this application.
And Pat?
And the parking area was the one issue, whether it would be improved, that's been addressed. So with the variances, they're all ready to go.
I believe there was a business operating out of
There
there,
is.
tree business.
That's been gone for quite a few months.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Oh, in the back? Yeah.
When you pull down onto the right, but it's gone.
it's gone.
Any questions from the board?
No. No.
Nope.
I think we'll
Public hearing?
then to schedule a public hearing. We need the motion.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Viscovich, South Lake Boulevard, special site plan. Mike, your comments, please?
Yeah, the submission was here about 4 or 5 years ago. You now have to put all the requirements of the 2025 zoning code on this map, which
Well, I will do that.
they have to be on there. I need it updated. Wetland permits required from the ECB, and the platforms over the lake and the sitting in the mud, a use permit is required from the state of New York. It's past the property line, so it has to, everybody has to get a use permit out there. OGS, by the way.
Thanks, Mike.
Actually, I just went back to the minutes a few years ago, and it was before the ECB, and there was a list of things to be done. Then the pandemic came, so we'll follow through on that.
Yeah, it's just 5 years ago, so it's
Yeah, I
probably,
know.
if they got something, it's expired.
Okay, no, of course.
And Rich?
So the applicant, it's been here, was here years ago, so there's a floodplain that's needed for this. Applicant had noted this comment prior. I don't know if it ever was provided or an associated fee was included. ECB, they noted that they would meet with the ECB, but no, has this occurred? It states that the project is on Route 6N, which is a state road, and does not believe we need to apply to DOT as there is an NOT drainage easement and pipe on the site. Applicant has provided an easement which should be provided to Planning Council for review, but that was way back when. We should still confirm if that's still the case.
Thank you. Pat?
And it's been 5 years, so Joel, update what's gone on, anything changed in the area, and if in fact you did go to ECB, you said?
We went to the ECB. They did not vote on it. They gave me a
Yeah,
shopping
even if
list.
they did, 5 years is a long time, so I think we'd want to send you back.
No, we definitely go back to them. Also, just to note, there were a whole series of variances that were required, and with my submission, I submitted the DNO from the zoning board that all the variances were granted.
Hopefully it still complies with that, because.
What's that?
Hopefully it still complies. If the new code made it worse, then you may be back, so. we'll let you know.
Yeah, well, we'll check the new.
When
code.
was this in front of the zoning board? How long? Was that also 5 years ago?
Hold on.
I have it as 8/27/20.
20.
I have the DNO right here. Hold on.
Well,
June 29th, 2020. And there were a total of 4 variances that were approved.
So, Joel, I'd like you to give an overview of this. It's at least 5 years old. Zoning board's actually 6 years old.
And the zoning's changed.
So, I'll open it up to the board, but I'm actually leaning to sending you back to the zoning board because it's 6 years old. So,
We need a new zoning.
right.
So my question is, if the new zoning, right? If the new zoning changes, things will obviously go back. But let's say for argument's sake, that all the variances are still good.
Speaking to the microphone, please.
All the variance is still good, but once a variance is granted, it's good for life. Unless things change, like Mike said. If the code has changed, we'll obviously have to go back. So we'll go through these ECB and the ZBA and find out what we have to do.
Where you been for the last 5-6 years on this?
I've been at my office. Where
No,
have you been?
where's the applicant been? Where are you gone
Well,
for?
he's been back at his country, way back. I forgot what country it is, but he's back now.
Can you give us an overview of this project? I don't remember it that well. Some people weren't even on the board.
It's a very small piece of property. I think it's a little over 400 square feet. It's on the curve here on 6N, and there is a major 18-inch concrete pipe that is owned by the state of New York, and it takes the drainage from Route 6N through his property out to Lake Mahopac. And there's some a deck, ramps, a porta potty, and a proposed shed. That was on there. And basically, at this point, way back when, you sent us to both the zoning board and to the conservation board. And so, as Mike said, we'll update it. The zoning has changed, so we'll see if any of these variances are still good. If they're not, obviously, we'll go back to the various boards. We did get a shopping list from the ECB, but again, let's make sure it's updated so to meet any of the codes that are in effect at the present time.
Is this the application that we had grave concerns about the visibility, site visibility, trying to get?
There were lots of DOT-related issues, height, site distance, all of that, because it's a tiny site.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you remember, we spent a lot of time dealing
We
with
spent
those DOT issues.
a lot of time with this.
With that agency, so
Right.
you've got to just reconnect.
All right, exactly.
I think, and if my memory, I think one of the things we were talking about was putting as a site condition that he can't park his car.
Well, actually, it's a very good point, because that was one of the variances we got. We got a variance to have 0 cars parked there.
But then that raises the issue again of the site distance that we were all concerned about.
Right.
Because of the road.
And their pipe, that was the issue too. So you can't park on the DOT pipe regardless of, so the variance Joel's talking about is the number of parking spaces. The issue is what they're gonna do on top of the state's pipe that goes through the property. So the state had something to say about that, as I remember.
That's correct.
So that may be a limitation, condition, restriction. That's part of your approval.
And the porta potty was another issue that came up, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Joel, did the owner of the property live across the street from this parcel?
No.
All right, no, I thought we had
He's
that.
up the
Wade
hill,
said
though.
he-
Doesn't he have a house right up the hill?
Hold
I
on.
remember there was discussion that we would say there's no parking allowed on there.
That's correct.
So oftentimes
Because-
when
and he said-
when your house is across the
when he
street,
was
it's less
here-
of a concern.
No,
I think he's right
basically, his address is 169 Sheer Hill Road.
Sheer Hill.
But wasn't the complaint that the tenant that lived in the house up the hill was using this?
I don't remember that.
So, Mr. Chairman, might I suggest, so the letter that Joel gave us as part of this whole submittal was, hey, we got all our variances, we're back. I think what Joel needs to do is bring everything back to us and explain it to us, not the way we're doing it right now.
Well, I think.
So that's my suggestion. Like, they had DOT. What did you do with DOT? What's changed? Mike has conditions with zoning. He needs to address that. We're asking a lot of questions and we're trying to go back 5 years. Joel should have provided that as part of his application or resubmittal, just to refresh us on this thing.
I think we can, since it's so old, I think you can almost treat this as a new application. I mean, I think it needs to go to ECB
It
and
is,
zoning.
with the fact that we have new zoning, we have to look at it as a new application.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I like Rich's suggestion. Have a meeting, review the file, review the plans, review the documentation, make a determination if we're still compliant with the new code, and then depending on what happens there is what direction we head.
And Joel, can we get a better diagram so that?
What I can do is enlarge that so it's much more, it's
Yeah,
much
I
clearer
mean,
to see what's going on.
I mean, I got the one that Rose sent us, and, I'm straining my eyes trying to figure it out.
Oh, shouldn't give you the magnifying glass?
Joel, you should have a separate drawing that just has the site, and then all the other details should follow it on a separate sheet, right? I mean, that's how that should be done, right? And that's how we've asked you to do that in the past, so just do it that way. It's a lot easier for us to review and look at without magnifying glasses.
I think we'll take the suggestion of the vice chairman, and let's three of us meet and just go over it, so I do it one, give me the list once and we'll do it.
And let's
Okay.
make sure that property is posted with a sign.
Yes, it was, but it's gone.
Yep. Any other questions from the board?
No.
All right, Joel, we're going to hold this over.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joe, you dropped a piece of paper.
Next on the agenda is Bunyay subdivision, 103 Pigot Road, sketch plan for 2 lots. Mike?
There are variances needed. I don't know why this is here. I think you got an update on some.
No, I
approvals or
think Rich
something.
had some comments that he wanted some additional information, and we provided that.
Any other comments, Mike?
Just the same as last time, nothing
Okay.
changed.
Rich?
Right, so Paul did provide a response back to both Pat and mine. I don't remember if Mike's were there. So referrals to the DEC, to Putnam County DOH, Town of Carmel Highway, and Mahopac. He's noted those referrals. Stormwater pollution prevention plan. The area of disturbance is estimated to be 34,000 square feet, so he needs to have a SWIP. It's not required to have one for New York City DEP. He provided a letter as such. The applicant has noted the comment that no areas will be preserved for open space, so that means they're going to pay a fee in lieu of. Applicant has noted the notes for public improvements, advised that a stormwater bond, it would be necessary. They noted that comment. We recommended all utilities serving lots be provided. Applicant has provided that info. All should note that all electrical services for the new lot must be buried, right? You're showing it as a wire going in, it should probably be buried, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Applicant noted, applicant meets and bounds of the proposed internal lot should be provided. He said they would be provided when ZBA variances are granted. All fill brought to the site, should have manifest and certifications, and then he has to follow up with all the other regulations of Chapter 131 of our subdivision code.
Okay. And Pat?
So this is still at the sketch plan stage, so the additional information that Rich is referring to related to whether you can make a judgment as to whether they're buildable lots, whether it can be done. So there is now a grading plan. Paul's clarified that there are no wetlands on the site or within 100 feet of the site, all good there. There's an issue that you should be aware of, which is Paul has asked that he not do the tree survey and identify trees on the property. He's indicated he would do that after he comes back from the zoning board. Typically, that's something we would see during the sketch plan stage. So you need to make a judgment as to whether you would want to waive that or push that down the road. But typically, we require the identification of the trees that would be removed, so you can understand the impact, the environmental impact of what's going on the property. And Rich touched the other ones regarding that he doesn't need to SWIP or any other DEP approvals.
So, Paul, why would we waive the tree survey, and then applicants that follow you, inside engineers, and they're going to come up possibly next meeting and say, we want to waive the tree survey? I mean,
I'm asking you to waive it.
Postpone it.
I'm asking that we postpone it until we go to the, after we go to the ZBA. Because if we don't get the variances, there's no lot. So why should the person have to go through the expense of having a surveyor come out, identify, locate, and plot trees on the property if he ends up not having a project?
The answer to that, Paul, is we've had the conversation many times, which is this board can't determine if the lot's buildable until they can assess whether there's an adverse environmental impact associated with it. So it's the process that we've established is that this board makes that decision first, oftentimes because that leads to a neg deck prior to the zoning board taking an action. So, again, it's not a waiver. It would be, Paul's asking you to kick it down the road. We typically don't kick it down the road.
It'd be hard for us to make a positive recommendation to the zoning board without the information, because we can make a positive recommendation or a negative recommendation to the zoning board, so I'm not sure how we can say a positive without this tree information. Board, any questions?
No, I agree.
I agree.
I don't think we want to push it down the road. I think we want it up front so we can look at the project and send it off to the zoning board with a positive recommendation if that's how we feel at the time. But we can't without the data. Any other questions? So, Paul, come back when you have the,
Oh, we can do it, and basically be able to be on the next meeting, which is whatever the first meeting is in November,
November 13th.
with the tree sizes and locations.
And it's only in the area of disturbance. So areas that are not being disturbed, you don't have to go out and pick out those trees.
Okay. well,
So then you can get on November 13th, and if for some reason you don't get the information we need, then just pull yourself off the agenda.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Barrett Hill Road, Evans, sketch plan for 3 lots.
There was also a letter Rose distributed on this.
Yes. Rose did distribute a letter on this. Mike?
Yeah, they proposed to divide a 22.8 acre lot off Barrett Hill Road into 3 lots. This has been here a long time ago. It came to us. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's a difficult lot. They have a stone right at the entrance when you come in. It's going to need to be regraded to allow for the driveway to comply with the slope requirements. Will there be blasting? How many yards of material are going to be moved or removed from the site? Lot depth and width lines are incorrect on this plat. Several variances are required. Once I see the corrected lot width and lot depth lines, I will provide a full list of variances. The net lot areas were provided, but they are not needed because it's the LDR zone. Anything over 3 acres, we don't require the net lot area. And provide all easements and maintenance agreements for the shared driveway.
The driveway will be shared by all 3 lots, if I
That's right.
understand it correct. Okay. Rich? Thanks, Mike. Rich, your comments?
So referrals, standard referrals, New York State DEC, Putnam County DOH, DEP, Highway, Environmental Board, Mahopac Fire Department. Stormwater pollution prevention plan will be probably required. Additional information must be provided so we know the area of disturbance. They may have to meet with New York City DEP for their based on watershed rules and regulations. There's no information regarding areas reserved for open space. They should provide an EAF for the subdivision, public improvements, stormwater bonds, all that stuff needs to be ultimately provided. They will minimally need to provide additional information as part of the preliminary plat, because this was identified as a sketch plat, if I'm not mistaken. So whatever the next step is, but all regrading, driveway profiles, access lanes, utilities, meets and bounds, you know, all that kind of stuff. We don't have that just yet, so.
Thanks, Rich. And Pat?
So the issue with this one is, you can see what the issue is. It's a very unusually configured property. They have plenty of land for 3 lots. And what they have proposed is 2 undersized lots in the front and 1 really large, oversized lot in the back. The only way to subdivide it is to create flag lots. So the 2 lots in the back are essentially flag lots, 1 common driveway serving all 3 of them. So there are a lot of things that we typically don't like in this subdivision. And I'd like Adam to think about options and alternatives. I just don't know that there are many in this case because of the unusual configuration. But I think we have to spend some time on this one, simply saying nothing works, so this is the best we can do. It's probably not the right approach to this. I think we should spend some time really turning the crank on this and trying to get it to be as appropriate as we can. And just the issue that why 2 undersized lots when you have plenty of room to spread them out and move to the back? to Mike's point earlier, that's where you start getting into the constrained portion of the property, whether it's deducted or not. It's steep and slopey back there, and there's wetlands at the very bottom. So this is a real challenge, there's no question about it. One other point that I wanted to raise, site distance, Rich mentioned on the road, that's an issue. And Adam, just give us a long EAF with this, if you wouldn't mind resubmitting.
Okay.
Again, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Adam, would you give the board, thanks, Pat, an overview of the project, please?
Yes, I'm Adam Thyberg, Insight Engineering, Surveying, Landscape Architecture, PC, and I'm joined by the project attorney, Frank Smith from Schilling and Smith Law. We're here representing Charles and Fran Evans, the proposal for the 3-lot subdivision that was described by the consultants. So yes, the property is obviously an irregular shape. So it runs from Barrett Hill Road. We do, on the east end, have a DEC wetland, and that runs out toward the Stonewall Farm Road subdivision to the east. So it's mostly wooded, rolling hills, but the grade does, as Pat mentioned, the grade does drop off significantly on the east end. There's no proposed development in that area for that reason. It's far from the road, it's very steep, it's not really a developable area, and we're also respecting the DEC wetland and that constraint where our proposed development is over 1,000 feet from that wetland, so we're trying to respect that as well. I should mention that the site is also encumbered with a Central Hudson gas and electric easement, but we're also respecting that. We're not doing any development in that area. So as was mentioned, the gross area of the existing lot is 22.8 acres. So this by lot area alone would yield significantly more than 3 lots, but we're coming in with the 3 lots for the reasons we talked about, to respect some of the natural constraints, the slopes, the wetlands, and then also because of the irregular shape of the lot. So that said, the 3 proposed lots, like the parent lot, are also irregularly shaped and require, as Pat mentioned, a flag configuration to accommodate the frontage and access. And as was mentioned, we would have an access easement that would provide access to the three lots. As was also mentioned, in this current configuration, and Mike, I'll get with you on the lot width and depth. Obviously, we're not going to have a referral to the ZBA because we got to clear that up, but we'll do that. But it is anticipated that with this configuration, we're going to have some variances. We're trying to minimize that. Pat mentioned about, are there other alternatives where you could get an equal number of lots? I think there may be, but I think to do it any other way, you're going to wind up with more nonconformities rather than less. You may have, and that doesn't mean it's not going to be more favorable to this board, but I do think we would, if we did this a different way, I think we would wind up with more nonconformities and more variances that would be needed. But we're happy to explore that.
Can I ask you a quick question? The owner's Evans, right?
Yes.
I noticed on the plat, Evans owns the adjacent properties.
Yes.
The same property, same owner?
Yeah.
Same owner.
Would that property, could that play into a modified configuration if that were brought into the mix?
No, because it doesn't go back very deep, and it's already fully developed with their home. There's not really, we could take a look at it, but I don't, just standing here now, I don't see.
Would you point that out on the?
Yeah, it's right
map,
here.
please?
So this is the owner's.
And their driveway goes out to Barrett Hill.
Yep, exactly. Comes out to Barrett Hill the same way. It's developed all through here. Again, we could take a look at it, but I don't know that we're going to find a way to make a through connection.
But maybe if it's not lot configuration, maybe it's access or utilities. And some, to me, it offers some opportunity for flexibility.
I think it would be tough, but we'll definitely look at it.
Can you move that one lot line to get to 120,000 square feet?
Now,
Because if
you
you
would say-
can't be at 120, you do need the net lot area, and that's going to push you way back. You have to actually have 120 to be exempted.
Okay, we need to be 120 with the front lot. I think that
All
one we-
3 lots, any new subdivision for single-family lots within the LDR zone, which conform to the minimum 3 acre, which is 120,000.
Right. The lot
Including the cluster
areas,
subdivision are exempt.
the lot areas that are shown in the table are
The top one is
Are the
the
net lot?
regular.
right. So it would be lot 2 is not currently at the 120,000 square feet.
Correct. If you could get that to 120,
Can you just
your
push
variances go
everything?
down substantially.
The challenge we have is the presence of this slope. You know, we've got kind of a plateau. It does go kind of up and down through here. At this point, really right at the back of where we've got that house, that's where it really starts to drop off. So we looked at that as our constraint, and we're trying to keep all the development, I'll just draw right on here. You know, basically from there over, because from there back, that's where it really starts to drop off. And getting a driveway down there that'll be in any way conforming or of a reasonable length would be tough, and it's not really developable area. So
I was just trying to minimize your lot area variance, because that's a big hanging point for a lot of the board members.
And I think that's going to be tough when you have plenty of territory, you know, so.
Has the applicant considered scaling it back to 2 lots?
they wanted 5 lots, and
Well, that's
given
obviously not gonna happen.
given the constraints of
Two of them
of
come with
the
help.
where you can fit your separation distances between wells and septics and everything else, and the zoning, we thought we could come in with maybe a few variances needed, and that would be kind of hitting the target, as Pat mentioned, of finding the best solution for something that's not going to be perfect, that will require some relief, but would be a well-balanced project in terms of dealing with an irregular lot, some site constraints, and what the applicant's looking to do. And to be honest, on a 23-acre lot, 3 lots, doesn't seem like a lot to ask.
No, it doesn't, but by your own admission, I mean, a lot of the property is undevelopable because of the slopes, you were saying towards the back. So it's not truly all available acres. You're dealing with a lot of constraints.
Adam, how long is the driveway?
The driveway to the 3rd lot?
Yeah.
I don't have a scale on me. I'm going to say we're 5 or we're probably close to 1,000 feet, 500 to 1,000 feet.
And do you think the fire department would require like a fire access drive to be able to access that back property, since we've got 3 houses back there?
Yeah, we could look at that, and potentially widening it, providing pull-offs and turnarounds and that. I think that would certainly be doable.
Yeah, Nick, typically it's pull-offs along that length, if not an emergency access in another way. But yeah, that's often what the fire department will come back with.
Yeah, we can definitely accommodate that.
Yeah, I know it's probably premature to ask, but who would be responsible for that driveway? The 3 houses that are on there?
Yeah, there would be an easement that would come through here, and with that easement would come an agreement for maintenance and everything else.
Which is always a problem, and it never works.
Yeah,
The neighbors
that's
never cooperate, so that's why we don't like shared driveways. So again, if there's an opportunity to separate driveways, let's think about it.
It might start out fine, and then one house gets sold, or... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge that we have is we've got a house that was mentioned, it was 1,000 feet back from the road. You were asking, create 3 separate driveways that, these houses that
There's
just
no
go
other roads
progressively
bordering
further
that
back.
property, right? You got Stonewall.
The Stonewall.
And Mexico on the top.
Yeah, Mexico's up here, and then there's Stonewall Farms is out over here.
So that's
there-
really landlocked.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's got plenty of frontage on Barrett Hill. It's just, it then comes down to this hammerhead kind of shape. This is obviously the pinch point here. So the only way to make lots work is to stack them into the depth of the site. And the only way to access them is through a shared driveway, realistically. And again, to Pat's point, we'll take a look and see if there's something we can do, some way we can get creative with the owner's property to the north. But I doubt that's going to work, but we'll take a look.
How wide is your driveway currently?
I think we had it at 16.
16? Is that wide enough, Mike, for a fire truck? 16 feet?
Yeah, plenty.
The issue is with long driveways like this, it depends on how far the house is from the driveway.
Correct.
If the piece of apparatus needs to set out outriggers and so forth, now 16 feet may not be appropriate. If they can get into the lot in their driveway, it's a different story. So these are complicated and challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would have access to each house. We can make it as wide and provide as many pull-offs, and that I think we can get to those details.
Right, so then you're fighting a whole bunch of other issues, right? The more impervious, the more stormwater practices you have to put in, right? They're gonna be maintained by the home. That's gonna have a maintenance agreement associated with it. So there's a lot of is in this, right? So in this, and, you know, so, and it's only a sketch right now, so.
It seems to me, I'm echoing Ray's comment, a lot of problems go away if you ratchet down from 3 to 2 lots.
The project might go away if it goes down to, you know, if we go below 3 lots. It's just, there's a point where it might not be worth the owner's expense and effort to put up 2 houses on 23 acres.
Adam, I think you work with the consultants and come back when you're ready?
Yeah.
Would that be reasonable?
Yeah.
Any other comments before we move on?
Yeah, we really want to just get your initial input on, again, the irregularity of the shapes of the lots.
Yep.
And, you know, I think we're getting your message, and we'll
It's
go
a
back to
tricky
the
lot.
I'd almost rather see an open development where you chopped it up nicer and go for the open development, to be honest with you. Agreed?
Yeah, but again, there's not much flexibility in the lot.
No,
It's-
agreed, but I'm just saying, but it would be,
It might be a better
it
tool.
might turn out better instead of worrying about getting the frontage for everybody, because you're making wiggles, and your lot width and depth lines are gonna go in and out of the properties. This is gonna be variance after variance.
Yeah, that we can definitely look at that, yeah.
I'm sorry, I know you indicated where the owner's property is, but where is the owner's house?
It's this is part of the outline. It's just a little overwritten
Oh,
by
that's
the
the
by the
house.
name.
Oh,
That's the house
sorry.
right there.
Because I was going to ask you if there was any way you can maybe, the part that juts up, maybe come across there with one driveway, but that's obviously not here.
This part here, or
Okay. Yeah, it's.
we'll look at it.
Yeah.
We'll look at our different
Work with
options.
the
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Adam.
you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Braemar at Carmel, 49 Seminary Hill Road, reapproval of final site plan. Mike, did you have any comments on this, Mike?
I do not. This is on for re-grant or reapproval?
Reapproval.
Reapproval. They should, I mean, we should sit down and go over this with the applicant to discuss, are there any changes that affect it code-wise, you know, just to make sure that everything is still good. It's not it's a reapproval, so that would restart the thing. Did you go through all that and check everything, make sure it's good?
Yeah. So in this one, this one was similar to another one that we were looking at with there was a use issue, and so the new ordinance in the zoning code allowing for the grandfathering, if you have a neg deck or an approval, would be in effect, I would think, on this. So, yeah, I think we should be good on that front.
So this has been around for a while also, right?
Yeah, exactly. So again, this one got approved right before the outbreak of COVID. This is an assisted living facility. That obviously was a tough time for that industry. Continues to have ripples. They still have intention to build out the project. I think with a couple years ago they were getting close, and then there was the bank, that minor banking crisis that happened a couple of years ago, and their lender, I think, went out of business, and so that set them back quite a bit. So they're continuing to look for financing, with rates seeming to be continuing to come down. You know, they might be in a position to move forward soon, but they do intend on building the project.
And I'm just curious, are they funded through federal money in any way?
Not to my knowledge.
We've heard that from some of these facilities, that money's gone away in many instances. So
It,
I'm curious if
It may be, but I don't know to say on the record.
This is for a 1 year. Yeah.
You're not answering the phone in Washington.
Yeah.
Right, so
Rich, go ahead.
all the permits have been updated and are still current. They have to meet the new construction permit of January of '25 for the stormwater pollution prevention plan, so they're gonna have to really take a look at that. And they never really had, there's no documentation of them getting that permit. So they might have to upgrade their SWIP accordingly and what they have to do. So there's no documentation from the October 30th, 2019 resolution, performance bond, stormwater control maintenance agreement, water and sewer approvals, and water and sewer connecting permits. The engineering fee and bond were calculated in 2019. They have been increased by about 20%. And in the memo I have, it goes to $1.5 million in change and $78,000 in change respectively. So those need to be updated, and whatever information Adam can give us regarding the new stormwater regs and how that's going to impact what they put on paper already. I don't know if that's going to trigger anything that's going to change this. So I have no problem with the reapproval, but they need to provide additional info.
Yeah, and again, it's a reapproval, it's not an extension. So all those old conditions get rolled over as brand-new conditions now moving forward.
Anything to say about this project, Adam? I mean, is there anything new to share with the board? Do you see anything happening in the next 12 months?
That would certainly be the hope. You know, obviously I can't make promises for my client, but yeah, they continue to pay to maintain this, and I'm told that they continue to desire to build it. They're just, the time hasn't been right just yet, but you know, hopefully that will be the case in the next 12 months. But I can't necessarily promise that.
It gets to a certain point where we need a new application, right?
You know, the issue with this always is what's changed. So over time, things like background traffic growth rates change and things like that. So after a while, we have to go back and revisit all of those things that went in. So if you remember, this was a fairly elaborate environmental review. We were separating it out from the rest of the parcel. There was a lot of complicated issues with this portion of that property. So there were a lot of thresholds that were built into the neg deck when we approved this. So at some point in time, those were going to change. Just the earth keeps spinning, things keep changing. So at some point, we're going to have to send them back to do it all over again.
And minimally, the stormwater regulations have changed since then. They promulgated at the beginning of this year. So has that impacted what they've proposed to us? Will it impact anything on the site? My guess is no. But again, the board needs to be aware of that, and the applicant needs to provide us that information accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, how large is the facility?
I know it's 152 beds. I don't recall the square footage off the top of my head. I don't have that. Yeah.
Other questions from the board? Do we have a motion to grant reapproval for 1 year?
I'll make a motion to grant reapproval for 1 year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So the next two items on the agenda, G&F subdivision lot 6 and 7, it's more of an administrative to do here tonight, we need a motion to refer them to the town board. We didn't do that at the last meeting. Let's take each one separately, though. Last meeting they presented to us. Do we have a motion to grant, to refer to the town board, Gateway and Fairway subdivision lot 6, 2054 Route 6?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, refer to the town board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And also, Gateway and Fairway subdivision lot 7, 2054 Route 6. We also need a motion to refer to the town board.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to refer to the town board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Rose distributed minutes of September 24th, 2025. Did anyone have an opportunity to review those?
I did review them, and I'm happy to report I had no comments. I move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bob, thank you for reviewing that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Sir.